Coach Chris Hull. On Saturday, you begin your 8th season as coach here at Morristown High School against Seton Hall. First, how about a prediction for the season?
This is Morristown, so we predict that we're vying for a state championship every year. Anything less than that is not acceptable by the players, the coaches, or the community. So that's always our expectation going into every year.
So 2 years ago, you guys were state champs. Last year wasn't quite where you wanted to be. I think you were 4-6. What was the difference between the 2 years?
Well, last year was tough. We had a couple injuries. We had some things that didn't go well. I didn't think we ever really gelled as a football team, and that's an important part of it. So that's one of the things we really worked on in the off season this year. And these kids have had a real good off season. They worked very hard, so we're excited about Saturday.
Now, traditionally, Morristown always has a very strong running game. What kind of offense are we going to see this year?
Well, this is going to be no different. We're going to run the football. We're going to run a lot. We're going to run a lot of option stuff. We're very comfortable in this offense. We feel like we got some, undersized but very quick and very, very strong linemen. We feel like we got 5 or 6 real explosive running backs. We got some quarterbacks that can run the ball as well. So we're excited to get these guys on the field and let them go a little bit.
So briefly, let's talk about the offense. First of all, who you got on offense this year?
Kamal Dumas is doing a great job for us as a quarterback. Jordan Powell, Dallas McCall, some young guys that are backing him up, doing a nice job. Danny Miller, Sean Reed are 2 real talented fullbacks for us. We got some halfbacks like Toby Beston and A.J. Tracy and Danny Supple that can all carry the ball and carry pretty well. They all block well. They all do those things that we ask them to do every single day. Up front, I like our guys a lot. It looks like Brian Bishop's going to be the center. The guard stuff is still a little undecided, but some of those guys can play. Guys like Ben Hoschel and Freddie Ruiz and Anton Buckner, who's a good sophomore for us. Tackle, we got guys like Ernie Steiner and Brandon Blaze, who just have a real good camp on the offensive side of the ball. Tight ends, we got Chris Drake, whose brother Matt was a great player for us as well. Chris, we expect to be real good, and we got senior Dave Montemarano, who pound for pound is the toughest guy in Morris County. So we're excited about those guys.
And on the defensive side, who's going to be your studs?
Well, Danny Miller has had a real good camp at linebacker. Kamal's played very well in the secondary. So has A.J. Tracy and Toby Beston has played very well there. Alexis Villegas and Jordan Powell, 2 sophomores, have played pretty well for us. I like our guys up front, Steiner and Hoschel and Drake, and Brian Connor, who's another senior, has played well for us. Danny Supple's been a fire plug back there. So we got some guys that can run around and hit a little bit, and they're hungry and they play with a lot of emotion, a lot of passion. And we're always a defense-first outfit here. So those guys really bring what we want them to.
And looking at the schedule, which games do you think are going to be the real acid tests for the team?
Well, opening day, Seton Hall's going to be loaded. They're going to be good. Last year we beat them up in Madison by 3. There's going to be a war on Saturday. It's going to be a tough one. West Morris and us is always a great one. Del Barton is always one that we underline and they underline. So those are big border war games for us. Roxbury, Randolph, the league is the league. It's a very well coached league. A lot of talent up here, so it's going to be fun.
What's it take for a public school to beat a private outfit like a Del Barton?
Outwork them, out-hit them, outplay them, out-execute them. No different than anything else. We have an open date on our schedule, and we go after parochial team. For us, Seton Hall and Morristown has been a great game for years. As soon as we had an open date, and they had an open date, we said, let's do this. When the conference split up, so. We want to compete against those guys, and we think that there's no reason why it shouldn't be like a competition. We scrimmage some of the best teams in the state with the same mentality. But you got to outwork them, and you got to outplay them, and you got to out-execute them just like anybody else.
As you mentioned earlier, the running game's always been key here. But will we see the ball in the air a bit more this season?
We saw it in the air a lot last season. We had Brian Billak, who's now quarterback for Franklin and Marshall. Was a very, very good thrower. And we had some big kids up front that could kind of pass protect a little bit. This year we're a little more explosive, a little quicker up front. And, it didn't really lend itself to as much pass pro as we thought. And, we're going to see it in the air, but we probably won't see it in the air as much. We'll see it on the ground a lot more.
And your 8th season, do you still get butterflies?
I get butterflies every game. I love it, and And when I stop getting butterflies, that's when you know it's time to step down. I remember seeing an interview with Lou Rotino, a great Union coach who was one of the greatest in New Jersey ever produced. It's knowing when him saying it might be time to get out when he stops getting them. So Lou Rotino's getting them, I'm getting them too. I'm pretty good company, I guess.
Coach, best of luck.
Thank you very much.